There are some days where I just browse the internet for any decent-looking NES games that might come out soon. Yes, I know it's 2020 and the NES is an artifact from the 80s, but the way I look at it is the NES is one of those special gaming consoles where if you're familiar with the system and how it plays, you can tell if a game was meant to be on it. Many of the titles prove time and time again, with the right people doing development, you can have an instant classic on your hands. Now, I'm not one to care too much about when a game was released over how much fun the game is. I just want a game to wow me with its gameplay. And if you can combine that with fun graphics and a decent story, you've struck gold in my book. This is where Nebs N Debs comes in. You see, a few years ago I actually played a demo for this title, and I remember it being really fun. Basically, you collect gems and dash your way through enemies and across deadly chasms. The demo was short and fun, which left a lasting impression on me, or at least enough of an impression that when I noticed the full Nebs N Debs game had been released on physical cartridge, it made me really want to play it. One thing about me is when I decide I want to play something, my brain goes into overdrive as it attempts to form the perfect solution to get the game in my hands as quickly as humanly possible. If I order the cart through the website, I might not be able to control myself, and I'll bug the crap out of the mail carrier every day until they go postal. I can't have that kind of crisis on my conscience. Lucky for me, and for the post office, Dullahan Software has the ROM for sale on their website. So yeah, the instant gratification route is where we went here. Let's load this up on the trusty EverDrive, pop that bad boy into the ABS, and let the games begin. The story here is simple enough. Debs crash landed on a strange alien planet and needs to find pieces of her ship so she can make her escape. Along the way she meets Nebs, a squid who attaches itself to Debs' head and drains her life force. So together, they need to collect the gems in order to power themselves through 12 stages of enemies, platforming, secrets, and bosses who have pieces of the ship. Classic NES story, right? First off, this game already looks like it's miles ahead of the original demo in terms of sprites and colors. The controls are super tight, too. When you jump, you can move in midair, and it feels natural, like it does in time-tested platform games such as Super Mario 2. The dash mechanic is easy to learn and yet hard to master. You can stop on a dime using the dash, and trust me when I say you will spend some time learning how to do this. But that's okay. This is the type of game that wants you to get really familiar with the controls. My first real sit-down session with Nebs N Debs, I didn't get very far at all, but I knew this was the type of game I was looking for. Flash forward a few weeks later, I decided it would be a good time to discuss this game on the channel. It seemed as if it's good enough to be released alongside anything that was put out with the Nintendo seal of quality back in the late 80s or early 90s. I thought I could reacclimate myself with the controls and get through all 12 stages in no time flat. I was dead wrong. Sure, I was decent enough to make it through the first 4 stages again. But after that, Nebs N Debs really starts to crank the fuck you dial. I'm dying left and right, and since it can be such a short game, you have no continues. That's right, you lose all your lives, get ready to start over on stage 1 of 12. Maybe the most brutal aspect of this is the deaths are not the cheap kind either. Nope, when you die in the game, you know exactly why you did and what you should have done to stay alive. However, knowing and doing are two very different abilities. So here I am, 12 stages in, and I know what I have to do. But of course, Death had other plans, bringing Neb and Deb all the way back to stage 1. The saving grace is that you start to become a pro at stage 1, and it becomes a fun game in itself to speedrun the level once you know what to do. I bet there are some people who are great at running this whole game. Not me, nope, not on these final couple of stages anyway. I can't count the many times I died in this area alone. The fuck you dial goes to 11 and it's cranked here until you make that one breakthrough. The one shining moment where everything comes together and you pull a victory out of your ass so large that it feels amazing to be out of there. And then you cry yourself to sleep at night from the relief. Oh, that's just me? Alright. At least it's over. I'm finally victorious. I get to the prize that all fans of the NES are after. To see that ending screen. Wait. Too easy? Too easy? Press start? There's a second loop? Ugh. And this loop is not playing around either. The timer counts down way faster now. And I'm not sure, but are the enemies moving more quickly as well? Whew, I need a break, and I'll come back to this another time. Besides, I beat the main game, right? So I take a break, get back on the internet, and I'm thinking about that speed run I was talking about earlier. My curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to hunt down a good no-death speed run of Nebs N Debs. Imagine how far my jaw dropped when I see people running the entire game in under 5 minutes. Now that is some time and dedication to excellence. And while I'm nowhere near that good at the game, I'm glad to have experienced what it had to offer. The game is truly an inspired work of art with its level design, fun to look at sprites, and challenging but satisfying gameplay. The way it ended kind of made me think of another difficult, revered NES game, Ghosts and Goblins. Nebs N Debs? Ghosts and Goblins? Maybe there's a bit of a nod there. Well, maybe you should play this for yourself if you get the chance, and let me know what you think. As for me, I think I'm going to look for something a bit more relaxing, where I don't have to boil my brain wondering if I'm ever going to make it to the next screen. I hear good things about the Battle Kid series. What do you think? Speak your mind in the comments section. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.